wish you were here by my side. Your song in my ear, your hand on my thigh. The highway is clear, unlike my mind. I'm dreaming as I drive. I've been inside my own head for days, but this fantasy is keeping me away. I wanna get lost in the night, stuck at a road stop neither of us like. Eat till we talk, laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late to try. Tell me it's not too late. We could see the world, you and I. There's no place on this earth that isn't better with your hand in mine. It's taken me way too long to realize, and now I'm dreaming as I drive.
Chris, good to see you.
I've been inside my own head for days.
Hope you're doing well.
Watching you kiss all my breath away. Getting tired of the twists and the turns we take. But at least this fantasy is keeping me awake. Yeah. I wanna get lost in the night, stuck in a small town nobody can find. Eat till we drop, laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep in your arms, make up for lost time. Tell me it's not too late to try. Tell me it's not too late. It's not too late.
Love this run.
I know we made mistakes and messed up the navigation, but let's find another way then, because I want you in my life. Where do you wanna go? I promise we'll take it slow. Get lost on all the back roads. Oh, just tell me we can try. Stuck at a road stop, neither of us like. Till we drop, laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost in the night. Stuck at a road stop, neither of us like. Lost with you, it's not too late. Lost with you. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late.
All right. You're running it at a convention in which convention? I do occasionally run games on Sundays. I really need to get to work to putting together more games because we've run into some scheduling issues. Oh, you're now you're in a commercial. I do love the ad system on this thing. That's a lie. I really do not love the ad system on this thing. But, it is what it is. They got to pay the bills somehow, I guess. Anyway, I am your... did you try to put in a link? Something? Hold on. Let me see. Do me a favor. Send me the send it to me in a Discord direct message, because BrawlCon, just south of Houston. All right. I keep having to think south of Houston is like, isn't that like the Gulf of Mexico? Oh man. So yeah. Anyway, I am your friendly neighborhood host, Phantom NJ, otherwise also known as Rob. Sometimes I go by Rob and also known as Phantom NJ, but that's neither here nor there. Today we are kind of up in the air. Oh no worries. I I I have a thing in place for as far as URLs where I think it's supposed to be people who are marked as VIPs can. I think it's set up. Actually, I think Twitch is set up for VIPs by default. Can do it. The only thing is, I've also had VIPs put up links that one of the bots decided it didn't like the link, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. So yeah, it's technology is fun. Well, that's cool. Cool that you're running it. So, in terms of reading the books and how learning the CNC books, um, really honestly, concentrate on two things. Uh, Figuring out how you want to run combat. Do you know, I mean, combat is pretty straightforward as you saw back in March. Um, but figuring out whether or not you want to do group initiative or do you want to do individual initiative. Get used to running a combat round. Um, After that, yeah, links can be problematic. Um, it'd be nice if it actually showed me, as the person running the stream, what it was you were trying to send. I get the same 3 stars message you get, so I've got like no idea what the person tried to post, uh, which is kind of weird. It'd be like should be like this link blocked by Twitch or whatever. The other thing is getting used to calling for attribute checks. Uh, Everything else is kind of you know it, there are rules for stuff, but those are really the two things that you got to worry about. After that, it's just pretty much any other role playing game that you've ever played. Um, I got to figure out, and I forgot to open a bottle of water while I'm here because otherwise I'm going to start coughing uncontrollably, and nobody wants that. I mean that's those are the two main things that you got to worry about. Um, Trying to think what else. Understanding understanding the classes helps, but it's a matter of um, again, really, it's a matter of attribute checks. It's a matter of knowing when you need an attribute check, which attribute check you're calling for, and the nice thing about CNC is it's a bit open in that regard. I don't think you will either. Anyway, if you've had any experience running games at a con, uh, CNC makes it super simple to do it. Do you know if TLG is going to have any presence there? As I say TLG, I should point out that TLG does sponsor the stream, so I should on the link for them. I love when my automated camera goes looking and adjusting itself on me. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I don't know why you're changing. Um, yeah, I don't know. Do you know if they're going to be at BrawlCon? If not, you should. I haven't heard anything. Actually, yes, I can check the. Let me check the Discord. And I checked the Discord and I realized that you sent me the message. Okay, brawlcon.com. So for anyone else who might be lurking, there you go. And I do not even see it on their list of festivals and conventions. So I'm going to go with no. Not unless somebody put it in the other bucket. But I'm not seeing it. So, oh well. I know their schedule is kind of filled up. Yeah, send Chuck Chuck's my buddy, but send Chuck reminders early and often because Chuck's got a lot of things going on, and something if you don't actually check in with him, things I promise you things will get lost. Um, so speaking of conventions, well, this wasn't a convention, but I got to play some gaming in person this past weekend. Um, it was hosted by um, oh yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Did you get hacked again recently, or I've lost track of who's gotten hacked. I know at least I know at least 3 or 4 people who got hit by the latest hack, and actually I think they got hacked by the one account ended up one hacked account ended up getting another person hacked. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, I got to do some gaming in person this weekend. Last weekend, hosted uh, by George. He's Ultra Magnus on the TLG Discord. It was at his house. Pretty much most of the gaming was on. Actually, I think pretty much all the gaming was on Saturday. I'm trying to remember if we actually did any gaming when we got back on Sunday. No, I think we got a couple of hours in. Um, got to play some, got to play some CNC. Found out that high level paladins do kick ass. That was playing in what was it, Rapanathuk. I got to play an 8th level paladin, and yeah, helped wreck the area that we were in. It was a lot of fun. Um, I also got to play Dungeon Crawl Classics for the first time, and the game is very, very much as the term I keep hearing used for it is Gonzo. Hey, Pat, good to see you. Hanging in there, hanging in there. Hope you're doing well. I've been keeping up with things on Facebook. Pat, you're gonna love this. I now have 2 printers. Both of them are unboxed. Neither one is assembled. I have a problem. I do have a table though. They're both on a table. Um, I ended up finally unboxing the Ender 3v2, and then realized how much work needed to be just to assemble the damn thing. No, they're both FDM. I can't do a resin printer. I don't have a good spot for it where I can get a good ventilation, and or where I can get the ventilation for it, and also with my dog. Not only that, I've got so many miniatures. I need more terrain. Miniatures is not what I need. I'm at the point where if I needed a miniature specific for something, I would just go to Reaper's site and go look for the one that I want, and buy it. Because if I can't find a miniature that's suitable, I my it's no longer a box of shame or even a shelf of shame. It is now a basement of shame with all the unpainted miniatures that I have. Um, got my painting area set up. I just need to get to painting. Tell you what, ADHD is, as an adult is a hell of a thing. Just trying to get anything done is whew, not fun. But I do have a printer too. I ended up getting the bonus room of shames. Oh, and is it a room of shame of stuff that you printed and have yet to paint? Because that's kind of funny when you're creating your own shame. Uh, but yeah, I in addition to the Ender V2, Ender 3 V2, I also picked up a Bamboo A1 with the thing for the combo for if I wanted to do four different color filaments. The only reason being is it was on sale. Where if I bought the printer, the regular printer, it would have been the standard price, but the combo was like $200 less than the normal one. Ooh, oh, you did dragons in resin. Nice, nice. I did manage to get one of my Reaper dragons painted. I think that was one of the Reaper dragons from Bones 5. I've got Bones 5 and Bones 6. Most of the stuff still needs to be painted. That's probably going to be my last. I have one more miniatures thing yet to come in. It's a thing that's been delayed for years and years, and it got taken over by another group. Having to pay a little more to get it completed, but it's still a ridiculous discount. It still ends up being less than $1 per mini, which is probably why the first company went, pretty much ran out of money. But that's another 200 minis to go on to the 600, 700, 800 or more that I already have. I've lost count. I really have. Um, I probably have about 800 unpainted minis from Kickstarters alone. Kickstarters and just random purchases from stores that I just never got around to painting. A lot of whiskers. And then I probably have another 400 or so minis, maybe more from the pre-painted stuff. Uh, by the way, Chris, tell your wife I said hi. It was really good to meet her at the con. Yeah, Chris, it was Blacklist Games. Uh huh. And Lord Gazumu, good to see you, sir. Let's get a shout out there. Yeah, I Blacklist Games Fantasy Series 1. I've got my FS1 did come in. Those minis are. I mean, the minis are gorgeous. I got to say, I'm really for all the hell we went through to get them. That's all right. I'm just like random talking, so I'll just keep talking. For all the stuff that we went through just to get it, it was worth it. And that's the thing. When we found out that Fantasy Series 2 went to Wildspire, the first thing I did was look up their track record, and their track record for getting out minis, their minis in fun from the not GoFund, Kickstarters or BackerKit or whatever it is they're using is really good. It looks like it. It looks like they get them out on time or even early most times. And this one, the sculpts, other than the ones that they're adjusting, they're all done. They've improved on a number of sculpts that they did. And even with I mean, I think we're getting slightly less minis than we were supposed to, but $48 to complete it plus whatever shipping's going to be. It still ends up being cheaper than a Reaper purchase, a Reaper Bones thing per mini, complete. Like, I friend of mine's like, well, you're going to throw more money at it. I was like, how can I not? I mean, it's still, even with the extra money, it's still, ridiculously cheap. Um, so, we're going to go with that. And then I promised myself, I did notice that they sell them on Amazon. I mean, their standard stuff is a little too cutesy for me. I'm not, the minis that they do, they're a little bit, they're not quite my favorite style. And not only that, they have a lot that are kind of, I think, for their own game or whatever, or their own campaign setting that they have, whatever it is. It's just I don't need a lot of the stuff that they have. Hey, Lord Fourth, good to see you. But I mean, they do a good job. The guy has been really, I mean, on their Discord has been fantastic about communication. He's been fantastic about communication right from the start. And so I'm looking forward to that and looking forward to getting the minis. And as far as miniatures, I think that's all I need in bulk. Hey Brett, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. And then I can pick up if I need something specific. I can go to Reaper and find a mini that fits. Um, so the company that kind of went south or was completely and utterly mismanaged was Blacklist Games. Their last project for miniatures, it was supposed to be both miniatures and a game. They sold off the miniatures thing to Wildspire Minis. And like I said, Wildspire looks like they're a pretty good group to deal with. Um, but yeah, so I'm looking for that. After that, I can get I'll pick up individual minis as I need them from Reaper. Because I have so many right now. I can't. Bones could do another mega thing. Bones 7 could be announced tomorrow, and I just could not. I can't justify it. I don't. There's nothing that I know that I need. What I need to do is paint the ones that I have. I did start painting. Actually, one of the cool things is I've decided to start using Monument Hobbies paints. And yeah, not only did it fail, that guy is as sketchy as can be. The guy that's left, I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. It was great. He went on LinkedIn and tried to talk to someone into giving him a job, and listed blacklist his stuff at blacklist as one of his things. And apparently somebody else had found him first and immediately posted in the same thread, uh, calling him a con artist. Oh man, you know I that one of these days, and it may not be until I get to the point where I retire. Um, I would love to go to ReaperCon one of these years. That would be cool because I do know quite a few people that go there, including some who were streamers who don't stream anymore but still go to the con. It'd be nice. Uh, but it's right now it's not just not doable. I'm hoping to have a little bit more clarity with regards to work situation soon, and figure out when I'm retiring. Hopefully I'm looking at another 7 years and being able to retire at 60, which would be cool. But certain things have to go the right way. We'll see. Things are a little up in the air at the moment. Um, in other news, nice. Yeah, it's I don't it's kind of funny. I was like looking at the numbers for 60 versus 67, and yeah, 67 would be a lot more money coming in. It's like I don't I the money that I would get at 60 would be more than enough for me to be very very comfortable. I'm like I don't need to work myself till 67 and not be able to enjoy a damn thing. I've seen enough of it with my parents, my grandparents. It's like, yeah, no. Do it earlier, be able to enjoy life a bit. Um, lucky enough to be in that position at this point. So hopefully it continues. Um, I mentioned playing Dungeon Crawl Classics for the first time last weekend. That was a lot of fun. The game is every bit as wacky. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way the game works. I I understand now what most people say when they say they like it and they like doing it at a tournament and in small bursts and such, but wouldn't necessarily want to do it as a campaign. Um, the scenario we were in was something else when you're playing with what do you call it, kobolds with alchemy tools and alchemy learning and mutant. We had mutant kobolds to go with it, as well as rust monsters as one of the enemies. It made for a very wild game. We did lose one of the characters in the process, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had I my character was given a magic weapon that just went bonkers with, and as far as like destroying stuff. So made for a good time. Made for a good first session. Um, so I can cross that one off the list. There's slowly but surely getting through all the games that I had not yet gotten a chance to play over the years. Still figuring out what's next. Um, those of you who've been following and are here, have been here the past few weeks, you know that Friday Night Crusades has returned. Friday Night Crusades takes place in my Discord. I will pop in the URL, and of course, I'll probably do it, and then the bot will decide to bring it up 2 seconds later. Oop, that's not how you spell Discord. And well, actually, my next concern is whether or not that URL still works. I think it should. Lord Forth, it is at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. We go from 8 Eastern to 11. People are welcome to, if you want to just pop in and listen in, you are more than welcome to do so. If you want to create a character, all you need to do is join the Discord, and there is a make sure that you go and accept the rules so that you get access to the full Discord, and go to the FNC info channel where we have all the rules for rolling up a character pinned. I ended up with the DCC rules, and there we go. I ended up with the DCC rules as part of a humble bundle. They were, I think the humble bundle. The reason I bought the humble bundle was because there are 5 adventures that Goodman Games published specifically for Castles and Crusades, and it had it as part of the bundle, and it had a whole load of DCC stuff. So I bought the humble bundle, and it came with the core rules. I have that. I don't know that's going to be something I ever play regularly. It was kind of cool. It was a nice little change of pace, but it's just one more thing one more thing on the list to knock off. But as far as Friday Night Crusades, this is a game that you can, you basically play as often as you can for as long as you can. We have the rules for rolling up a character in the FNC info section. Whoever shows up with a character that's ready to go goes. If you show up late, you'll join us in progress. If you have to leave early, don't worry about it. If you can't make it for 2 to 3 weeks in a row, no problem. You just have to be there. You just need to be able to listen in on Discord. It's helpful if you're able to talk on Discord, just because while we can go with typing, it tends to slow things down. Plus, there is some role play that ends up happening. My players have tend to do more role play in this game than I ever thought there would be. I thought it was going to be more of a straight up, let's go kill some, find some monsters and kill them, take their stuff and such. But no, I've got a group that likes to have some fun. It's not heavy role play, but there's enough. Enough that we have our own thing where half orcs in the campaign. In the last campaign, half orcs suddenly decided that half orcs like snake meat. So that is now canon in my games for CNC that half orcs have a taste for snake meat. 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday, 8 to 11. We go for 3 hours, and I hold pretty tight to the 3 hours. I'd rather go under than over. Um, if it's to the point where I think it's like one last attack roll or one last round of initiative is going to do it, I might go 5-10 minutes over at most. Uh, I only can think of one time where we went a lot over, and I don't even remember what the reasoning was. It was something where it would have been really tough to have come back to the next week to just go to that section. So, but it's so ultra rare. Usually we're in and out in 3 hours. And again, whatever time you can get there. If you have to get there late, that's fine. If you're only able to be there 1 hour every week, but you can make it every week, hey, great. We hand wave the whole where your character's been. It's kind of running joke. The character was in the last room that the party was in and are just catching up now, or they just got sent from the town to give a hand or whatever the case is. We don't worry about all that stuff. It is not that serious a game. We're there to have fun, roll dice, do a little role play. As a matter of fact, one of my players from the last game is going to be rejoining us. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, Listen, you're invited, Chris. Your wife is invited too, if she would be interested in joining us. Um, you know, Either or, if there's everyone who wants to come in. If you want to listen first and get a feel for it, you're also welcome to do that. Um, we just normally while talking is going on, we just normally ask people to keep muted or just not talk. If there's a break in the action and you have a question or something, that's fine. But yeah, and we already have tomorrow. I think is going to be the debut of the second of the specialty classes that I'm developing for CNC, or for my CNC games anyway. I can't really develop them for CNC because they're borrowed from other places. We have a fire elementalist wizard. We just call them fire elementalists. And we also have the first specialty priest that created a specialty priest of Sehanine Moonbow. I have more specialty priests planned. There's going to be specialty priests of Palor, Hieronius, probably Foltus as well, and then I have to figure out maybe some of the other some of the other demi-human deities like Moradin and stuff like that. Come up with stuff for them. I've kind of I've got ones that I want to get to just so that they're available, and then I'm also looking at ones that people want to play, so that one, I get better at developing these specialty classes or specialty priests, and otherwise. Um, One of the other things that I'm looking at doing, and we're gonna go to presenting screen. Amazing Adventures. Speaking of things created by Trollord Games, this is the cover for the latest printing of Amazing Adventures. Um, One of the things that they did with the new version of Amazing Adventures is it was already a Siege Engine game. It was already mostly compatible with Castles and Crusades. They've brought it more in line and smoothed some of the edges to make sure that it is completely compatible. Um, so in a way, Castles and Crusades is while it came first, ends up sort of being a very genre specific version of Amazing Adventures. Because Amazing Adventures, you can play any genre you want. You want to do steampunk, you can do steampunk. You want to do Indiana Jones style adventures. You want to do westerns. You can do that. You can do cyberpunk futuristic stuff. Whatever you want to do, and if you want to do a mishmash of all of them, Well, take a look at this particular painting, the cover, and you'll see that's kind of a little bit of everything. The reason I mention this is because there are some classes that I do want to bring over. Let me see. Where are the classes? So I need to look at the acrobat for one. It I think this is well, I mean, I'm assuming that this is more like the thief acrobat from um, first edition Unearthed Arcana. It may be equivalent to one of the classes in the Adventurer's Backpack. I need to check that because I need to make sure that it is not out of line in terms of abilities and power to classes in CNC. Um, but it does make for an interesting class, especially for someone who wants to play a wild freewheeling character who does nutty things and uh, basically goes to the max with their with acrobatics and stuff. We don't need the Arcanist because we've got wizards. The Arcanist. If I was going to do the Arcanist, this would be my way of introducing more of a sorcerer type class, um, where they're not using knowledge through study or such. They're able to tap into the arcane energies in the world and doing it to their own, bending it to their will and such. They also use mana energy points, which makes them different. It also is a point of concern because then I have to worry about learning a new system and understanding how that system works. It's up for a possibility. There's the Demon Hunter. Um, so Demon Hunter is think Van Helsing, but think Van Helsing with possibly a bit more in the terms of divine abilities. It could be a straight up. Honestly, it could be a straight up Van Helsing character. I need to take a look at it, but it makes for an interesting. Definitely makes for an interesting class because I don't think this one has. I honestly I don't know that this one has any really special abilities beyond that. I know that Jason had written up a demon hunter or undead hunter class for CNC, which I think might be more paladin like. This one does not strike me as that. We've got the duelist, which makes for a nice dexterity based, somewhat fighter variant, which is cool. I do like that idea because I think there should be more than one type of fighter. The CNC fighter is really a straight up, we're going to hit things. We're going to hit things as often as we can and as hard as we can, which is fine. Some people struggle with that a bit because it's really their it's really their only thing. You have to you role play for a fighter in CNC. You kind of have to build that in for yourself because you're not going to get much in terms of the flavor of it from your fighter abilities. We'll leave out the feral. Don't need that. Gadgeteer powered. That's more of a steampunk type thing. We won't be doing that. Hey, Justin, it's good to see you. We're talking a bit about things from Amazing Adventures that I'm looking to bring into CNC. Going through some of the classes. Already talked. We've already talked about the acrobat. Acrobat. So far, the acrobat, demon hunter, and duelist are the three that are most likely, or three of the ones that are most likely. Gadgeteer or powered is not. Gunslinger will not be happening. Yes, I know that there is a Greyhawk god that used guns, Merlin, but we are not going in that direction. Um, hooligan, don't really need. Investigator, mentalist. Mentalist is an interesting one because mentalist sort of brings psionics, or at least the siege engine version of psionics, to well, Amazing Adventures, and then if you port it over and you can to Castle and Crusades. The one thing that I would need to do to make the Mentalist really worth it is I would need to go and find those creatures that had psionic abilities in like first and second edition, and give them that if they don't have something equivalent, or just tweak them if they do, so that they're more ready foe for a mentalist. So I'm open to this one, but I definitely need to. This one again also requires, like the Arcanist. This one requires more work. Pirate. I love the idea of the pirate. The only issue I have with the pirate is it doesn't work great necessarily as a PC. This feels more like an NPC class, unless I was specifically doing a pirate styled game. Um, you know, so that one is possibly more NPC than a player character. Pugilist. Think monk without the whole Eastern thing. This is another interesting fighter variant. Um, I could definitely see bringing the pugilist into it. It is kind of a monk in terms of abilities and the way the class is built. It's almost like a monk alternative, but I like it. Raider. Another. This is another one. It's more along the uh for CNC. It would kind of be in the same kind of thing of pirate. I don't know about it as a PC class. More like an NPC. Um, though it does have a certain dungeon crawl treasure. It does have a certain treasure seeker vibe to it. I might just be stuck on the name as opposed to the actual class itself. So I'll have to think about that one. Socialite, no, not that. That doesn't work. The soldier, I guess. I mean, that could work as a. I'd have to find. I'd have to find ways to make it. Replace some of the stuff like the bayonet training and the sniper training, with other things for CNC. Um, Zen Archer, I already allow the archer from the Adventurer's Backpack. So I don't know that I'm doing this one. Um, I mean, honestly, I need to take a look at this just to see whether or not this works better than the archer in the Adventurer's Backpack, because there is something to be said for this. The Zen part of it, okay, but yeah, I mean, there's some interesting stuff in here that could make for pretty cool classes to bring to CNC. Allow them, but I really want to get comfortable with one of these classes, because one of the other things is we've got Summer of Siege. where Troller Games is looking for people to run games for highlighting, siege mechanics. So CNC and Amazing Adventures. I do have a CNC stream tentatively planned for June 1st. I believe I believe that's a Sunday. Let me double check. Yeah, for Sunday, June 1st. Um, that game's already, it was supposed to be this weekend, and it turned out, I was kind of concerned about it. So I did a check-in, and my concerns were correct because we had two people who had to drop out. So we're moving it back to, June 1st. All right, Jay, we will see you in a bit. But I've already got one. But I do want to do, and this may be a weekday game, where it might be over multiple weeks, because I think I want to run one of the adventures, or at least part of one of the adventures on Amazing Adventures. And for those of you who do not have Amazing Adventures, let's do something I haven't done for a while. Let's do some reading. What is Amazing Adventures? And I realize that text is very, very small, so I am going to read it to you so you don't have to hurt your eyes or work on. And I realize that text is changed from what is on the back of my printing. Haha, nice. Oh boy. All right, so here's what my book says. I'm not sure how much of that's going to be missing, but from savage Los Atlantis to the furthest reaches of the stars, this book is your foundation for running the world's greatest gun-toting, sword-wielding, starfighter-flying, gadget-making, super-powered, science, sorcery, horror, multi-genre role-playing game, all powered by the Siege engine. This multi-genre role-playing game gives you a universal rulebook to capture any style of fantasy you want, with simple attribute check-based mechanics that are built for lightning-fast play that's also worlds of fun. Amazing Adventures has a host of flavorful character classes for you to choose from Arcanist to Demon Hunter, Raider to Hooligan, all with different class traits and backgrounds. Its simple attribute check system, point-based magic system, powers and gadgets will allow you to play the character or your fantasies in whatever setting you want. Let me do this. All right. I'm going to read the text from the book that you're looking at. I'm not going to adjust the screen for it. Just, actually, maybe I can. Hold on. All right, there we go. I don't know if that's any better for y'all, but all right, let's read it one more time with feeling. From savage Lost Atlantis to the furthest reaches of the stars, Amazing Adventures is the next level of Siege Engine role-playing. Using the same celebrated rules as Castles and Crusades, this multi-genre role-playing game gives you a universal rulebook to capture any style of fantasy you want, with simple attribute check-based mechanics that are built for lightning-fast play that's also worlds of fun. Whether you're looking to portray musketeers and pirates in the 16th century, fearful colonists dealing with the dark unknown in the black forests of the New World, modern demon hunters fighting horrors of the deeper dark in the back alleys of cities, or explorers on the new frontier of deep space in the far-flung future, Amazing Adventures has what you need. Within this book, you will find a wealth of flavorful character classes to build almost any archetype you can imagine, including the Arcanist, Demon Hunter, Investigator, Powered, Gadgeteer, Raider, Socialite, Pugilist, Hooligan, and others. Generic character classes, traits, and backgrounds to allow you to further tailor your character to your needs. An intuitive powers and gadget system based off of tailoring spell effects. A point-based magic system that draws upon the mystical energies of the land. The full siege engine mechanic, exactly as you know it from Castles and Crusades, with no learning curve needed. Fate points to allow for heroic deeds, and a little luck when you need it the most. Dozens of modern firearms with basic and advanced rules. Full vehicle combat rules and stats for a wealth of vehicles and more. Don't wait, get your hands on the Siege Engine game that lets you take your games anywhere in the multiverse and beyond with amazing adventures. There we go. And adjust that back. So yeah, I have one of the adventures is it's a multi-part adventure, and or there's I think there's more like I think there's like 3 adventures, and it constitutes like a small mini campaign. And it's slightly Cthulhu-esque in that there is a deeper dark, but the one of the things that the author brought out, and I believe the author is Jason Vey for the adventure, was they wanted an adventure that wasn't the kind of, Call of Cthulhu. The expectation is that your characters are all going to have lost their minds by the end of it. Yes, there's a sanity mechanic, but really the hope is that, despite all the weirdness going on, the characters will prevail. So it's a slightly different style. We'll see how it goes. I'm looking for. I need to put a group together and then decide when I'd be running it. I would love to do it during the week, just because weekends are hard, especially in the summer. And get that set up for the Summer of Siege. I had emailed back to let Grace from Troller Games had sent me a message asking me if I was still interested in doing Summer of Siege, and I am. I just need to figure out how this is going to work, and or with it being amazing adventures, and what the bonuses are, or how it's going to be supported. We'll see how it goes. But there'll be more on that. After that, it's kind of a quiet time. It's summer is just about to get started. Though you wouldn't know it by the fact that it's 45 degrees here today. I had to turn my heat back on. Would somebody please find Father, Old Man Winter, give him a plate of cookies, warm milk, and send him back to bed? Because I've had it with winter. I did not need it to drop 30 degrees in the last 3 days. That's brutal. It's just utter nonsense. But yeah. Anyone else doing anyone else got anything interesting coming up? I know, Chris, you had mentioned you're talking about BrawlCon. Anyone going to any campaigns or doing any exciting gaming in person? I'll just keep chatting for a bit. I know Jay's just gotten started. What time is it? 7:20. Well, we're getting there. Exclamation point ticket to enter the giveaway for a $10 coupon towards any digital product from the Trollord Games website. I'm looking forward to the last part of my Reforge Kickstarter from Trollord to come in. I think the Beneath the Canopy Green is supposed to be arriving there any day, at which point they will send it out, and can close the books on that one. I know the Amazing Adventures Backpack Kickstarter is going. I will not be doing that one just because I don't use I don't know. I want to wait to see what the changes actually look like before I buy it. I'll probably get around to buying it at some point, just because it's who I am. But uh, there would have to be something really Kickstarter exclusive, that makes it worth it before I consider doing that. I'm looking forward to all the stuff that they still have out, the Gygaxian stuff. The world building stuff is still out there that they're working on completed. So yeah, I think I'm going to quiet down on Kickstarters for a bit. But all right, everyone's gotten a little quiet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a stream ending, and we will do the giveaway, and then I will raid into Lord Kazuma. Please hang out for the raid so we can send in nice group of people. All right, last chance to end. Closing the giveaway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And drawing a winner. Yeah. Got winter on the brain. All right. Was it LMP 7N6 or it's IMP? IMP 7N6. Congratulations. I will get you that gift card. And let me mark that as complete. And with that, let's get the raid set up to Lord Gazumba. I do have a raid emote. I do believe it is set so that anyone can use it. So, if you're so inclined, and if you can see the raid emote, feel free to use it once we get to Lord Gazumba stream. With that, thank you everyone once again for stopping in and saying hi. Thank you for those of you who chatted, those of you who lurked. Regardless of whether or not you said anything, if you were lurking, I appreciate you, and hope to see you next week. Raiden in 3, 2, 1. Bye now.